How's it going, guys? This is Garbo Load.
Yeah, what's good?
This is Jacob.
And Kato.
And this is episode 3 of season 2. So, what do you want to talk about today, Kate?
I'm talking some more life hacks that we're working on.
Life hacks?
Yeah.
Right. Let's hear it.
I don't even know if I talked about the last time I was on with the sleep. Did I talk about anything about sleep?
Yes. Yeah, you did.
I talked about it on it, or did I talk about it beforehand?
You talked about it beforehand, but I think it was also related to that.
Okay. Well, anyway, so I've been working on reducing the reducing the amount of time I need to sleep.
Oh. Okay.
So like a lot of
What are you hitting, like 2 hours?
You can. Apparently, you can do 2 hours of sleep. That's like the lowest you can go.
How is that possible?
So there's a bunch of different like sleeping methods. I think we talked about this before, but like like people like have like they sleep, they wake up in the middle of the night and they go to sleep.
Yeah.
So like
Can't
that's
be healthy to do that.
well, apparently that if you sleep, I don't know where to start because I've been doing like a lot of research looking into this. So I'll start with like Spain. So in Spain, they have a thing called a siesta. You ever hear of that?
Party, I assume?
Fiesta. That's a fiesta. There's siesta,
Okay.
which kind of the opposite. So it's basically just a midday nap. Everyone in the country, it's just like a cultural thing, and they sleep in the middle of the day. And you'd think like, okay, these people are sleeping in the middle of the day. They probably sleep more than us. They actually get less overall sleep than most people in America do, because we have what's called a monophasic sleep cycle, which basically we just have one session of sleep.
Yeah.
And it's usually about 7 to 9 hours because that's what it takes to get through like 2 sleep cycles.
Yeah.
I think it's about 2 sleep cycles. But in Spain, because they have the siesta, their body's able to get more of the benefits of sleep in less time because they have their normal sleep cycle, which they get a majority of the benefits of sleep. But during the siesta, their body's so used to going to sleep at that time that it's efficiently able to get through the cycles. And I think the REM sleep is what they hit. But they sleep on average like 7 hours, 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Or
Okay.
I'll say it's 7 to 9. So because they have a midday sleep, they're able to bypass the light sleep. So there's like, I think there's like 4 phases of sleep. But they kind of like get grouped together. There's light, deeper, deepest, and then REM sleep.
Yeah.
So REM sleep is where your brain like rejuvenates. That's where you get the mental benefits. Like if you don't sleep for a couple of days, like you start going insane because your brain gets deteriorated. But deep sleep is where your body gets restored. Both of those together, like they're 25% of your sleep each. So REM sleep is about 25%. If you're sleeping 8 hours, that's like 2 hours of sleep. If you get another 25% in deep sleep, that's another 2 hours. So you have 2 hours of body restorative sleep. And then light sleep, I was recently looking into it today, but it does say there's some benefits, but there's also like it might not be. It doesn't seem like it's as important as.
But wait, that's the
REM
mind
sleep.
you said, right?
What?
That's the mind benefit? Like
REM and
Oh, REM.
the REM is mind.
What was light sleep again then?
So light, I was looking into it on like forgot the name of the website, but the website you ever like look up like health stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's like a blog post about it. This is 45% of our sleep is in light sleep. And the only description of what that sleep was, it's like, this is where your body, you're mentally sleeping. You're mentally sleeping, but your body's not like resting. It's like kind of still engaged. And they say that's where like a lot of, like if you grind your teeth, that's the time of sleep you're going to. Grind your teeth in.
Yeah.
So if you're able to have multi phases of sleep, you get into the rhythm of it, you can actually just bypass the light sleep and just start doing the deep and REM sleep.
Okay. So wait, but then did you say that light sleep? What did you say light sleep was beneficial for?
So one thing didn't say any benefits, but with the Whoop strap, it says like, oh, it is kind of beneficial for memory, learning.
Okay,
that
so it's
stuff.
like kind of brain mind, but that's really REM. Is what that.
REM seems to be the biggest thing because REM is when you have dreams. So and we still don't really know what dreams are for, but like people think it's probably for memory consolidation, learning, all the benefits you get from sleep because you need to sleep to learn stuff, like fully grasp it and remember things.
Yeah.
They say that's what REM's for. So there's a bunch of different like protocols for like sleep. So there's monophasic, which is probably what most people do. Just they go to sleep at night and sleep 7 to 9 hours.
Yep.
Then there's biphasic, which is 2 sleep sessions, which is basically what siesta is.
What our ancestors used to do.
Well, maybe. I think people did say that. You know what? Now that I think about it, that's probably why like European countries still do it.
Yeah, I know there was this thing like midnight mass that used to be a thing. People used to wake up in the middle of the night to go to mass. In Europe specifically, I mean, like, and that was why too. Because they needed to fill that like couple of hours in the middle of the night.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you know what? That makes a lot more sense because in Spain and I think Italy too, they have might not be a siesta, but something where a midday nap is a common thing.
Yeah.
And then as you just said, all right, not even that ancient. Like a couple hundred years ago, they were doing this.
Right.
And then I was reading. Do you have Tim Ferriss? So he's like this body hacker kind of guy, biohacker.
Okay.
And he's got a couple books. One is a 4-hour body. So it's basically just a manual of like, oh, here's a bunch of like hacks you can do for your body to like enhance injury recovery, enhance muscle development, and then there's a section on sleep. And this is where I first heard about it, and I was like, oh, it's kind of cool, but it seems a little difficult to get into. But one of the things he was talked about for sleep is it turns out you, on average, get more REM sleep if you have like 4.5 hours of sleep and then wake up and go back to sleep. The ratio of REM sleep to the other aspects of sleep is higher when you do that. At least for him.
Okay. Yeah. Did he do any research behind it, like looking at any articles or anything? Like
he does a lot. Like he tests on himself. At the end of his book, there's a bunch of like tools and research and resources. One, like there's like someone who did. I'll talk about the most insane one. It's called Uberman sleep cycle, Uberman protocol, something like that. Which basically you sleep 20 minutes you only need 2 hours of sleep when you do this. You sleep for 20 minutes at a time at you do it any time, but the example they gave was 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., 8 p.m., and midnight. And you get 20-minute sessions and you get 20 minutes of sleep. Altogether, it's 2 hours of sleep. And it takes a while to get into it. It takes about, I think he says like a month to like fully adjust to it.
That makes sense.
But with each of these protocols, the less full sleep session you have, like let's say the 7 to 9 hour sleep session, monophasic sleep cycle, you can miss the time you go to sleep by like a decent amount and still feel rested. But you ever hear people say like the best way to like really fix your sleep is make sure you're consistently going to sleep.
Yeah.
Same time, waking up at the same time. So your body's in a rhythm.
In a routine, yeah.
So like when you're doing the monophasic, you can kind of miss it by a good amount and still your body doesn't get that fucked up. It's going to get fucked up a little bit. But with the Uberman protocol, you can't miss it by like more than like 30 minutes, maybe even less. Because if you miss it by a certain amount, like your body gets fucked up very quickly. Like,
because it's built on that like time slot of just only 2 hours, so you really need those 2
you
hours
really
to get
need
that
to
point.
be in a good rhythm because what your body's doing once you set it up to sleep at these times is it basically goes right into REM sleep.
Right.
So instead of going to sleep, getting to light sleep, then going to deep sleep, and then REM sleep, which REM sleep is 25% of the time we're asleep, it goes right into REM sleep. And also when your body, like, I don't know if you've ever had like sleep where like you haven't slept for a really long time, you're really tired, you go to bed, you knock out really quickly, and then you like practically immediately have a dream. Because you go right into REM sleep because your body needs that mental recovery so quickly.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't think I was going to be able to do that one, so I just like, fuck it. There's another one called the Everyman protocol, which is basically you have one core sleep session. There's a bunch of different set ways you can do it, but especially you have one core session and then a certain amount of naps. You could do it with like a 6 hour 6 or 7 hours of core sleep and a 20-minute nap. And then you could do it with 2 naps, and you only need about 4 to 5 hours of sleep with the 2 20-minute nap sessions. Or you can do it with 3 naps, and you need about 3 to 4 hours of sleep. I might be getting the numbers wrong, but like basically the more you break up your sleep, the less total sleep you need. At first I was like, okay, this seems like no brainer. Just get your body into the rhythm and you're able to go right into REM sleep.
So I just guessed like 2 hours, and that was like right at the start. Like, really? That's just a coincidence. What?
Yeah.
No way.
I haven't heard anything where it's less than 2 hours. Because everything, like, no one gives specific times for how much sleep you need, but they always give percentages. So the amount of sleep you have, it's 5% you're awake, 45% in light sleep, 25 in deep, and then 25 in REM sleep.
Okay.
So if you can skip that 5 and 45%, you get over half the sleep you're going to do.
Why would you want to do that and like risk not having, like, you can have memory problems, and also your body is not recovering fully without the light and deep sleep?
So, if you just want to be more optimal, I think there are ways that you can still get the physical recovery without going to deep sleep by like doing like recovery shit. But
Just resting
like I think I forgot what I saw, but deep sleep, like this, the physical recovery you get, it's not necessarily because you're asleep. It's your body is just still and laying there. And
so meditation could...
meditation I think has been shown to be good for recovery.
Yeah.
Probably going to sauna, just sitting and like physically resting your body.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've only really been looking into it for a little bit, and this is only my second day doing it, and I'm feeling very tired.
You're gonna wait, so you're doing it?
I'm doing it right now. I'm on
the Uberman?
No, the Everyman.
Oh, okay.
2 naps.
2 naps. Okay, yeah. So by sleep cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when are you sleeping and when are you waking up?
So right now so my core sleep has been about midnight to 5:45, 6. So 6 hours, and then I try to fit 2 naps in. I've only been able to nap once because the first nap I just can't get to sleep in time. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to sleep. I'll just keep going.
Yeah.
But I've been taking my first nap. Well, yesterday I couldn't do my first nap because I didn't have time to. But I've been doing it around 8 to 9. Around that time, I'll do my first nap. And then the second nap is about 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Okay.
1 to 2 in that time.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
So I try to take, today's my first day, I try to do 2 naps. The first nap I try to take at 8 to 9, and I ended up just laying there. I got really close.
AM though. I'm just
AM, yeah. So I got really close, and I woke up because I had to go do shit, and then I was like, fuck. You know what? Because I heard about binaural beats. You heard of that?
Yeah, helps you sleep.
Yeah.
Really.
So I'm like, you know what? Let me try and do that next time. So I got a pair of headphones, put in my phone, and then I was trying to find an app. There's an app I used to use that was free, and you just do any of the alpha, beta, theta, delta brainwave settings.
Yeah.
And I was going to use that, but now it's a subscription model.
Of course.
Fuck
Yeah.
that.
Figures.
But then I found another app that was free. I'm a little worried though, because when I went into the app and I went to I think they say delta wave is best for sleep. I went into it and it said, this is going to be good for deep sleep. And I'm like, oh, okay. I ended up getting...
yeah, you want to like try and target whatever you want to target.
Yeah, I basically want to get an hour and 40 minutes of deep and REM sleep separately. Hour 40 of deep sleep, hour 40 of REM sleep at my main sleep session. If I get more, I get more. But I've been using the Bootstrap, and it could... I don't know how accurate it is, but it's been giving me an estimate of my sleep cycles. So right now my light sleep today was 46% of my sleep. So it was a little less than 50. Actually, that's a little more than what the website said it should be, but 45. My deep sleep, 25%. So I'm like, okay, word. And then my REM sleep was 23%. So it's getting close. I'm gonna see how I do. I don't know if I'm gonna make it, just because it's gonna be a month that's gonna be kind of rough. I've been feeling energized, but like I could feel like here, it's like I could feel tiredness.
Oh, okay.
I do have like, I think motivation's like pushing me right now. But I've been waking up at like 5:45, 6. Like, so the hardest part is getting out of bed. I wake up and I'm like, go to sleep.
Yeah, I could feel that. Like you really don't want to leave the bed, and then you're just like,
Yeah.
like you forcing yourself to do it. And it's like I can only imagine. Like, yeah, that's when I want to like mostly just stay in bed, like during the morning time. But yeah. This camera is the SD card's a little messed up right now.
Yeah.
I might have to just try and like restart it and like try and like clear any more files. It says there's no files on there, but it's still like iffy. But still,
Gotcha.
But yeah, I mean that's still like, you know, it also conflicts with like, you know, your daily life too. So that's like why I would want to do that too. I have like my sleep schedule for like entering like all the different like phases of sleep. And
Oh,
it's, like,
your Apple Watch charts it too?
yeah. So I have like, what does it say? An hour and 24 minutes of REM sleep. Core was most of it was core, which I'm assuming is light sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, and then deep sleep was 14 minutes, so my body like barely did not shit. It was just like, yeah, so 6 hours and 13 minutes of core sleep.
Well, it's also, the thing might not be perfect.
Yeah.
Tracker.
Right, yeah, that's true. I know, like, yeah, the only reason they could tell, like, well, I know I had like a lot of dreams last night.
So well, yeah, that sounds like about 0.5%. Does it give you a percentage of how much you're asleep?
It does. REM sleep was actually 17%, and 75% of it was core.
Okay.
So it's a little bit more core. So, but yeah, besides that, yeah. But yeah, no, I just also want to increase my REM sleep too, just because it's like having, you know, you're experiencing a whole world in your mind. And I also heard that, you know, whenever you are dreaming, you're processing like 16 million bits of data, or no, like not that much.
Well, bits. Yeah.
It's like 5 million bits or something, whatever. But like when you're awake, it's like you can process like so little compared to like when you're sleeping, and that's why you need to like have that mental like dream aspect of like actually analyzing how you feel in dreams, because that really affects it. So yeah, like everything you feel in a dream is based on how you feel in real life, and how, so, you know, if you don't understand like a dream or something, or like how you feel in a dream is basically how you should interpret it. It's like given the circumstances. So that really dictates like a lot of different stuff for you. But like, yeah, I'm just always trying to decipher like, what does that dream mean? But it's like, yeah, okay, it just means how you feel, how you interpret what you're seeing, not that what it's actually being. Like you see a spider and it's like, okay, it's a spider. I mean, like, yeah, like so many dreams about my tortoises. My tortoises are like over there. They like, like I have dreams of like, it's like there's like 10, 20 different tortoises in one tank. And then I'm like juggling like which tortoises to like take out and stuff. And it's just my anxiety amplified.
That's your dream?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have another dream where it's like there's a giant lizard in there with the tortoises, and then I have to try and like save the tortoises, or like, are the tortoises being nicer to each other because there's like 20 in there in like a tiny little cramped area. And then it's like, I forgot to turn the light on. I forgot to do this. I forgot to do that. And so it's like my anxiety in a dream.
Anxiety of caring about them is infiltrating your dream.
Yeah, yeah. But it's like explaining it to my brain how I like perceive like those problems. And it's like, yeah, I also have dreams of my work job. And it's like, it's because like my job is just like really like, you know, broadcasting. So I like have to pay attention to a broadcast, and then I'm also like doing other stuff. But then it's like the worst case scenarios happen basically. But yeah, no, so it's just like, it's really interesting. Does your tracker, the Whoop thing, track exactly how much percentage you have for everything too?
Yeah, it gives me the time and the percentage I got. So that, what did I tell you? The times or the percentages?
So far you told me the times because you just did it like twice.
Oh yeah, so yeah, you wondering the percentage of each cycle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so last night I had 6% in a week,
22 minutes. My sleep might have been a little longer because I think it basically tracks my heart rate and gives me an estimate. And I think it combines it with like other things it tests. My late sleep was 46%. My deep sleep was 25%. My REM sleep was 23%. And then I had an
Oh, so that was, yeah. That's like pretty average.
What's that?
That's like the REM sleep being like pretty good. And then what was the deep sleep you said? That
Deep
was
sleep was
25?
deep sleep 25 and REM was 23.
Yeah, so that's like kind of average for them? Or no?
Yeah,
For REM specifically, I know.
Deep was spot on with what that website said.
Yeah.
REM, actually, they give me areas of where it's usually at, or maybe it's optimal. REM, oh here, they even have the top. This REM and deep sleep count for 40% of your total sleep time. This is an optimal amount for healthy restorative sleep.
And then also I could check my nap, and I had 13% of my nap in REM sleep,
Which is only 6 minutes, which I need to bump up to 10 minutes. And then I also...
Oh, your nap. You snapped for 6 minutes?
Well, I had REM sleep.
Yeah.
REM sleep of my nap was only 6 minutes.
Okay.
The nap
I have for about 35 minutes.
Yeah.
I need to get into 20 minutes. I need to be fucking in deep sleep right away.
I also want to get an eye mask so I could reduce the effect of weight. And also when I wake up, I've been doing the ice bath. Dude, I'm waking up like at the crack of dawn. So I get an ice bath. Like that wakes me up.
It's 5 a.m.?
5:45, 6.
Okay.
I did it yesterday. And I was a little nervous because the sun wasn't out. The air was cold. There's a thick piece of ice on the cover. And I had to break it and like take the ice out because it was too thick for me to just like go through. Like literally if I went in there, it would have been like touching me all the time. Like I did not want to.
Yeah. Oh, like...
And I only did 3 minutes because I've been doing 4 minutes now. And I only did 3 minutes because I was like, also my chest and thighs were shaking, which they say is like, once you start feeling that in like an ice bath, that's kind of like, you reach the peak of benefits. After that, or that's at the point like you should probably get out because that's your body's like, I think,
Those are probably the two biggest muscles that like start shivering before hypothermia. Like your body starts shivering to warm you up.
Yeah.
And those two shivering are like huge. Like,
Yeah.
that's a sign like, okay, you're fucking cold. We're really trying to heat you up.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got mud water. Did you hear about that?
No, it's on mud water.
So it's like mushroom infused, like there's a bunch of mushrooms in it. It's like a coffee alternative. So
Okay.
it's got cacao, turmeric, cinnamon, and it's got lion's mane, reishi, chaga. I feel like there's another one. There's sea salt in it too.
A lot of benefits with that. No, that's the only one I can know. I know lion's mane we talked about last episode, so that's why. But like everything else seems very random to me. But yeah.
So cacao has caffeine in it. So there's 35 milligrams of caffeine, approximately.
Okay.
Which is like a third of coffee.
Which I'm also wondering if I should get like something that doesn't have any caffeine, because if I'm going to take that morning nap, I know it's not going to be as impactful as coffee.
Yeah.
The caffeine, but I'm like, if I'm going to have caffeine, is that going to keep me from taking that first nap, or do I take a different nap? Maybe I'll take a nap at like 7 instead, because if I'm not going to wait till midnight, I could wake up at like 6, take a 5. There's like what, 7 hours, or if I wake up at 6, 7 hours before my 1 p.m. nap, and then from there is another 6 hours before my would have been 7 p.m. nap. I'd have to change up to that. Although every time I change it up, it switches the cycle up.
And then you have to restart from like day one. But it's like you're 2 days into this new phase right now, right? Yeah. But yeah, you just base it off of like whenever you take that caffeine intake compared to like how long it takes for you to crash from that. But yeah, no. So you've been doing this ice bath first just because you like talked about the ice bath, and then I'd have a chance to talk about it from the ice bath. You've been doing the ice bath for like a really long time now, right? Like about a month?
Yeah, what's today? Today is the 21st, so I started like, I believe this January 3rd. I ended my day,
so like
and then I had
almost 2 months.
yeah, but I had like a week off. I think in total I might have missed like 8 days,
Okay.
give or take. Yeah, I started 2 minutes, and then I was ramping up a little bit at a time. I'm gonna go to 4 minutes now because it's fucking cold outside, and I want to get in. There's ice in it, so I'm like, okay.
Oh, come on. Global warming is not helping you.
But like I get in the ice bath, and I'm like, okay, if there's ice on the top, the water could be, well, the lowest you can get is 33 degrees because otherwise it'd be frozen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I'm looking up like ice bath, like what should I be aware of, like doing an ice bath, and a lot of the ice baths that like come out, or a lot of the things that talk about ice baths is like they're like 50 to 60 degrees, and you shouldn't go in for more than 15 minutes, like 10 to 15 minutes is like optimal range. And I'm like, okay, well, I know this is probably colder than 50 degrees.
That's true. Yeah.
So I'm like, how long should I stay in for? I think 5 minutes might be the longest I'll ever do. But like every time I go in it, now I get out when it's like frozen. I get out and like tips of my fingers, sometimes my toes usually hurt a little bit. I get nervous because I'm like, I really don't want to get frostbite. Because apparently there's a football player. I want to say Patrick Mahomes. I could be wrong. Actually, I think it might have been Giants. Someone on the Giants.
Okay. I'm not familiar with sports.
Me either.
Yeah.
I just heard my parents talking about it.
Okay.
Like, well, be careful with the ice bath. Because apparently this one football player was doing the cryo chamber. You know what that is?
You talked about it on a previous episode a while ago, but
Okay. So it's instead of going in cold water, you get in like a chamber where it puts cold nitrogen on you. Okay. So it's a lot colder than cold water, which can only get to, let's just say, 32 degrees before it freezes.
Yeah.
This gets really fucking cold, and it's just like the air of like not liquid, but like air nitrogen, and it's negative degrees. So you only go in for like 3 minutes or something. But the guy who did it, he went in with like wet socks on, so he got frostbite in his toe and he lost his toe.
Okay. But yeah, like, don't do that. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
Don't wear wet socks.
Yeah. When you get out, dry off as fast as possible.
Yeah, was that sweat? Like, his socks were wet?
I don't know.
Sweat? Like,
I mean, it could not have been completely accurate. My mom was just like, oh, well, this guy lost his toe.
Yeah. But that's like worst case scenario. I mean, I'm assuming he didn't like intentionally like wet his toe. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it was definitely like he working out too hard, and then he went into it without realizing it.
Yeah, it was probably just sweat.
Yeah, but still, it was just like, yeah. I mean, just that if it's below freezing, then yeah, that is kind of crazy to like go through with that. But it's like, yeah, I mean, like there's definitely going to be more benefits with that, I assume.
And apparently, like it's not as like it's colder than the water, but I guess because it's air, it's physically not as bad.
Okay.
I don't know.
So yeah, if it was like that freezing with water, then you would get frostbite with it in seconds.
Yeah, well, it couldn't get that cold with water. You'd be in ice if it was that cold.
Right. Yep. That makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, I seen it avoid salt water because you put salt water, like it lowers the freezing point.
Yeah, then you could do it. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
And so I was going to ask, like, yeah, do those people that actually do those, like, cryo freeze things also do those saunas that are the exact temperature that have the benefits for that at the same time? Because also doing both of those things have health benefits, but doing both of those within, like, the same day for a large amount of time, like, you're getting, like, the extremes of, like, a lot of temperatures in one day, like, do they do that, or no? They just like do only the cryo freeze or only the sauna, or like.
So I've seen. I mean, I don't know about football players because like they're just probably doing what their trainers tell them to do.
Yeah.
And like, there's a lot of like people who are like really into like that stuff. So I know Andrew Huberman.
Andrew Uberman. Yeah, sounds familiar.
He's got like one of the biggest podcasts right now, actually.
Oh yeah.
I think he's a professor at Stanford. And he talks about like every podcast is like 3 hours long, and it's just him talking about like one topic. Like he has a whole podcast about water, and like how optimally intake, the optimal water, like everything to perfectly be beneficial for human intake.
Yeah.
But I saw a clip of him talking about, because he talks about like ice therapy, like temperature therapy a lot, and he said one way to get a huge spike, I don't know if, I think it was growth hormone, is to get in a sauna. I think the sauna for like the optimal benefits is 170 degrees, 175. But what he says to do is go in a sauna for 30 minutes, get out. I think he said get in an ice bath, then go back in the sauna for another 30 minutes, get out, do another ice bath session, go back in for 30 minutes, do another ice bath session, and then get out.
So like 3 times?
I think you do it 4 times in total, basically 2 hours in one day. And then I obviously not 2 hours in the ice bath, but like doing this back and forth. And I think, I don't know if it ends on sauna or ends on ice, but
You're like,
spikes your fucking.
yeah, like 20 minutes of sleep. You're like, was it ice or hot? Was it the sauna or
Yeah,
ice
I'm going a little
bath?
crazy.
Yeah.
I better fucking have good sleep tonight.
But like for optimally doing everything, anything you can, you're like trying to minimize your sleep, and you're supposed to do this now.
Yeah. I'm like really, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm really like into all this kind of stuff. So like, I would love to do that. But he says also only do it once a week, because if you keep doing it like throughout the week, the benefits like decline.
Okay, so doing that all in one day, or like just
One
like
day.
also like maybe could you spread it out like sauna this day, ice bath this day, sauna this day, ice bath this day?
So I think like to have this, I think it's growth hormone, having a huge spike in it for after doing, you have to do it like 2 hours, you have to do 30 minutes, you have to do it all one day in the proper order.
This is for a growth hormone?
I think growth hormone. I think he said like, I don't know. He said some like crazy number for growth hormone.
Okay. But it's not for like healthy, for like just in general, if you want to do it, not wanting to grow your hormones.
Well, growth hormone is like beneficial for like like healing. Like
Okay.
it's restorative. Like
Yeah.
whenever you work out, you're sending a signal to your body like, okay, send growth hormone here to grow your muscle, to
Yep.
heal the damage and all that stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so it's like still beneficial, but it's like, yeah, that's just what the terminology he uses, like growth hormone, that increases it. So then, yeah.
That's
But-
for a huge spike in it. But you then
Yes.
there's also the benefits of sauna, which I think you should be around 170, 175 degrees in the sauna. And he says that over like 56 or 57 minutes a week is the optimal range to get the most benefit. To get the minimal effective dose. So like before what's it called when you like depreciating returns?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know.
Like what? Like if you work out, I don't even know.
Just extra volume of working out, like extra too much heat.
No, so like you know, you do one thing, and it gives you like, oh, let's just say you do 20 push-ups, and that grows your muscles by 10%. The next day you do 20 push-ups, and it grows your muscle by 15%, and then you do another one, and it grows your muscle by 20%. Like eventually. And then let's say the next day you do 20 push-ups and you grow your muscle by 18%. So you had 10, 15, 20, 18. So like it peaks out there.
Yeah.
That's like you're still getting a benefit, but like the amount of work you did isn't the same. Like
Right.
depreciating returns or something like that.
Yeah, that sounds right.
There's some other like
So that's what happens when you do like too much sauna.
yeah, like you're not gonna get the same amount of benefit. Like 56 minutes, like you get the most benefit for like the amount of time.
So 56 minutes at 175 degrees Fahrenheit?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, 175. So that's the lucky number, 175, 56 minutes.
135 might not be right. I think it's 170. It's definitely in the 170s.
And for the ice bath, what is the magic number for that? And for
12 minutes.
12 minutes.
12 minutes a week. Sorry. 56 minutes a week for the sauna. 12 minutes for ice bath a week. And I don't think he has an exact temperature for the ice bath. I think the main thing for him is like, it has to be cold enough where like while you're doing it, you want to get out. Like the whole point, or not, maybe not the whole point, but one of the biggest things is like it's the mental challenge of like you get to the point where you're fighting your brain to stay in.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest, not the biggest, but like one of the best benefits of an ice bath is like you're pushing yourself to the point where you're fighting yourself to stay in, and it grows like this certain area of your brain that basically that makes you like to do hard work.
Yeah. I just wish that we wouldn't get hypothermia if you overdo it.
Yeah.
Because then I would then I would like full on agree with like doing it no matter what. So you said for 12 minutes, and then for how long? I mean, for what temperature?
I think it's just like where it's uncomfortable.
Where it's uncomfortable. Okay. But could you give an estimate?
Probably 50 degrees.
50 degrees. Okay.
I'm not a doctor, so that's not medical advice.
And so an ice bath, where like, yeah, you could do that anywhere if you just have ice, guys. But also for a sauna specifically, I mean, what facilities have 170 degrees about? I mean, I know there's a lot of places, but not a lot of places also have that.
The gym I go to, like, it only gets like 106 times 65. So I'm like,
right.
And you can't adjust the temperature. And I know LA Fitness, you could probably go to a place that's a dedicated sauna spot that has the right temperature.
Okay, yeah. So you actually go to like a sauna. Yeah, yeah.
There's also, I saw an ad for it. There's like these sauna blankets that have like infrared lights in it. So it heats you up like with the light waves. And you could just put this blanket on. And see the effects of sauna.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
I don't know if it could get to that temperature, 170 degrees. And I don't know how that works with the light. Like, I don't know if it separates from the skin or how it heats you up.
Because I don't know, blanket over you, you can't like breathe. You're just got the blanket over you. You're just gonna suffocate.
I also see like these sauna tents where like it just zips up and you get in there.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds a little more like you're gonna survive a couple more minutes than that. Yeah.
Yeah. And your head just sticks out from it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm thinking that. All right. So that works. So you said that 56 minutes and 12 minutes. That doesn't equal 2 hours, though. So how does that make sense for Andrew Huberman?
So the 2 hour thing, that's like for the spike in growth hormone, and you do it once a week. But like for the general benefits of sauna and ice bath.
But that was what you were talking about before with the 56 and then the 12 for benefits, right?
For just general benefits.
Just general benefits. Okay.
Like it's like the optimal benefits. You get that.
So just follow that, but not follow the 2 hours.
The 2 hour thing, if you want that huge spike in growth hormone.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah. But mainly stick to, 56 and 12, and then also intervals of switching back and forth. I would just be worried about homeostasis, just like the fluctuations of heat temperature, because the natural human body is not supposed to be used to such extreme temperatures being that extreme, going back and forth. So I'm surprised that Andrew Huberman was suggested doing that.
Well, the thing is, like, it's a stressor on the body, so the body has to adapts to it.
Yeah.
And I guess because it's going through that extreme temperature switch up, it tricks it into producing this growth hormone.
Yeah.
Okay. Whatever the reason, like your body's natural production, like for some reason, it sends a signal to release growth hormone.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense then.
And what if you keep doing it, your body gets used to it. So the growth hormone gets less.
Oh, so you can only do it a certain amount of time, or it's like, it's depreciating effect.
Depreciating returns?
Yeah, depreciating returns, what you said before.
Is that what I said?
Yeah, with just the sauna though. Yeah, I like.
The ice bath too.
The ice bath too, yeah. So if you do once a week for that 2 hours, then it's still, even if you keep doing it, it'll still be less and less. If you do it to a certain point, an amount of time, then it'll be less.
Well, you can't spread the 2 hours throughout the week, if that's what you're asking me.
I was also,
one session. Okay.
Yeah, one session once a week, but also it would still not be beneficial to keep doing it every single week, because eventually it would plateau and then decrease. Yeah. Okay. So you're just doing it for that like first couple of weeks, and then it would be still beneficial. Mm. Yeah. Okay. All right. That makes sense then. Yeah. But it's like not long term, but then it's like, So what are the chances you do that? You do and then also this mud water thing also added added to the mix.
I don't know. Because, well, one, I don't have the sauna to do it. Also, I don't.
Right, you have.
I'm not dedicating the time to do it. Also, I'd have to switch up my whole routine. I'm kind of like stuck in my routine right now where I like work out, go in the sauna. Well, I wake up, do an ice bath, work out, get in the sauna. And that's kind of like my routine.
Yeah, because it's like it's more convenient that way too. It's just like, you know.
I get the benefits of waking up too with the ice bath.
Right, yeah. Because it like actually wakes you up, refreshes you. That to me is just like working out, and then I shower, and that wakes me up more. But like, yeah, that's the best way. I feel like.
Yeah. Also, okay. Another thing is, so I get in the ice bath, and then I might take a little bit before I go to the gym. But I'll go to the gym and do 20 minutes to 30 minutes of cardio, just to warm my body up. I did it once where I only did like 15 minutes of cardio because I wanted to like get through my workout faster, and I wasn't warmed up enough. And I was doing heavy bench. And like, didn't fuck up my shoulder, but like I really strained it because it was just like my body wasn't warm enough, and that exercise just strained it. And like for 2 days, I was kind of like,
yeah, I did that today. I just didn't do do a warm up rep before, and then I actually hurt my other arm. Usually, it's my right arm that's like messed up right now, and it was just my left arm that was messed up because I didn't do my warm up rep today, and I guess that really screwed me up, but. I know doing cardio right before doing an actual workout is supposed to really help. I just don't do that because I'm worried that like, you know, that takes away from your primary workout and it takes away some energy, but I know it like gets your blood flow pumping at least. But I know, yeah, the best workouts that you should do like a med ball and like throw it against a wall for like upper body first for like warm up. Yeah. And then I forget what for lower body, but it's supposed to be like a minimal exercise, but like nothing too extreme that like, yeah, just makes you use all of your energy in that one go. But yeah.
I also changed my workout. I don't know if I told you.
So what are you doing now?
I'm lifting 3 days a week.
Okay.
I'm doing full body.
Full body.
So I do chest and rows supersetted. I'll do back squats, and then I'll do overhead press and pull-ups supersetted, and then I'll do leg extensions, leg curls, calf raises, all supersetted if the machines are open. If not, I'll just grind one out while the other ones are.
How long does it take you to do that entire workout?
So the lift only takes about an hour and 10 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Depending on the day. But then I also do about 30 minutes of cardio and 20 minutes in sauna. So it's about a 2-hour workout, the whole thing.
And then do you do that specific, like if you're doing like chest, then do you do bicep after and then squat? Like you're doing the different muscle groups are completely different, not like, you know, like.
So I do, when I superset, I try to do opposing muscle groups.
Yes, okay, perfect.
Because I heard that doing the opposite muscle group supersetting, like, I don't know if it lets you do more work or it lets you lift heavier weights because like you're doing the opposite muscle, like kind of like.
Yeah, because if you're doing doing bench, even though it's chest, you're doing tricep, and there could be some shoulder also being used there. So it's like that's why doing another muscle group in general is always beneficial. Yeah.
But yeah, so and then at the end, so after the 3 workouts of like leg extensions, leg curls, and then calf raises, I'll do bicep curls, tricep extension, and face pulls, supersetted. And then I either do that or I do that one, and then I'll do incline bench either with a machine or dumbbells, and then I'll do reverse flies. And then I've been also doing weighted crunches with the cable machine. I superset it with like this one exercise where like standing on one foot and like pushing a cable forward, and then doing the same foot and doing like a row backwards. It's supposed to help with engaging like the posterior chain. So like I think it's like the calf, hamstring, and the glutes. That's called the posterior chain. And also like I've been doing it because my knee was fucked up, so I've been trying to work on that. Also my mobility, my balance helps out with. So I've been doing that at the end of my workouts.
So yeah, that's just like if I ever see someone doing that in the gym, I would be like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Yeah.
Like I just like one foot going back and forth, like doing the chest workout while also doing a pull exercise.
It's actually because I only do 10 pounds when I do that. 'Cause
Oh, okay.
It's just, it's more of a leg workout because it's just, it's
so
so
you're not
off
really,
balancing that
yeah.
I'm really engaging my leg. And it's like the first time I did it, my glute, my hamstring were like really sore.
Are you worried that because you're doing that, then you're not getting as much gains with your chest, and you're also just accommodating to more of your glutes then at that point? Or like,
No, because that was an additional exercise. I was doing everything else.
Yeah.
Before.
Oh, okay.
I threw this one
Yeah.
on, and I've been doing. I superset that with crunches. So I was doing squats with hanging leg raises. I was supersetting that. I couldn't really find an opposite muscle group for legs. Probably could have done front squats, but
yeah, nobody likes doing those.
yeah. So I threw that in there. And I want to do more weighted stuff for my core to get more of, because I've only really been doing body weight core. But I want to do weighted core to build the muscle.
Yeah, because that's how you actually increase it. Because a lot of people don't realize, like, if you want to get better abs, you have to increase the weight towards what you're doing, and then it's just like it's not convenient for a lot of people, and it's also a lot of machines don't go to the weight that you actually need. Like, I know a lot of weight machines that are just like restricted, and it's like, I mean, I don't know. It's just like this. Some of the machines that I use at the gyms I go to, like Crunch. I mean, I mainly what I'm referring to is like Planet Fitness, but like Crunch could be better. But it's like the ab machines they have there. It's just like I want it to be like a little better, like how it's like at least formatted. But it's like I don't know. I just don't like it, and I just gave up on abs at this point. I don't know. I'm just like, all right, it's not worth it. But also, yeah, you're supposed to increase the amount of weight you do for ab workouts because it's just supposed to be like any other workout that you treat, and you're supposed to increase it progressive overload with any muscle group you're like trying to increase muscle with. But yeah, how do you feel about like when you actually like do the workouts? Do you like all three of them in like Monday, and then you take Tuesday a break, and then Wednesday you do another one? And then Thursday break, and then Friday you do the other one?
So I do Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Okay,
But yeah, I take a day off in between.
Yeah, that's
That's another thing too. So I switched this up because originally I was doing push pull legs. Then I combined push pull to one day, and then so at that point I was doing it for 6 days a week to 4 days a week, and then now I'm combining all three. So I'm only lifting 3 days a week.
Yeah.
But I'm actually doing more sets because, so with the compounds, so the bench press, rows, and back squats, I've been doing 4 sets, and I'm still doing 4 sets. But everything else, I dropped down to 3 sets, which originally I was doing 4 sets, but because it's 3 days a week, originally would have been 8 sets for each muscle group. But because I'm doing 3 days a week, 3 sets each, it's 9 sets in total.
Okay.
So I'm able to do more work by going to the gym a little less. Also, I do I go for a different kind of goal with each workout. So on Tuesdays, I do a strength workout. So I only do about 5 reps of everything. Go really heavy. And then Thursdays, I do like an 8 rep range. And then on Saturdays, I do 12 reps. Squats on those days fucking suck. Like, I'm fucking burning, and I'm like, I really want to kill myself. I just can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've only been doing this for like 3 weeks now, and I want to see, because I am getting a little less recovery days. Because with the upper-lower split, I was getting 2 to 3 days off. Now I'm getting 1 to 2 days off in between each workout.
Because, it's like one day in between, and then also the weekend is mainly I guess Sunday and Monday you would get off then in that case. Yeah. So that's your big weekend for that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's still like, I don't know. Cause I heard that you're only supposed to fit like a certain amount of like reps in per week. But like, yeah, doing that much is like more than like like what I've been told, but it's still like you're doing less weight as the week progresses. Yeah. And then, so how has the weight been feeling for like week after week of doing that? Has it been like for like going back Tuesday, since Tuesday is your strongest day compared to last Tuesday? How do you feel? Have you feel like it increased a lot? Or
so yeah, so this Tuesday was my 3rd day.
The first day I started, I did 265 for 5 for. I mean, I'm based off bench because bench is like the easiest one. I know that I'm like
That you can, yeah, like keep track of, yeah.
Then I just did 265 for 5. Next week I did 275 for 5, and then now I did 285 for 5.
All right, so yeah, you definitely feel that like increase.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the second time I've ever done 285 for 5.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Next week,
dude.
it's 295 for 5. I don't know how that's gonna go, especially since my sleep is gonna be fucked up. So we're gonna see how we're doing with that.
Has there been any in the past 3 weeks? Have there been any other things that you have also been trying to do too?
We think.
Because I know you like trying to do a lot of things.
Yeah, I know.
That's because that sounds awesome. That sounds like immediately like, yeah, I'll do that. But I just want to know if there's any other variables in this.
Wait, so you're talking about what, fitness or just overall like health?
Well, fitness for the fact that you could like you've been in a 10-pound increase for your bench the past 3 weeks.
Oh, so the other weights.
Yeah. Because I know you, yeah, like you've been doing ice bath for 2 months now, or almost 2 months, so that shouldn't be a factor. But it's also like other things that should be considered.
Health wise,
yeah.
Well, I've been getting a little lazy with tracking my diet, so I haven't been tracking my food as much, which I think I haven't been tracking it because a lot of stuff I've been eating, like I haven't been able to track as well because I've been getting a little lazy with weighing stuff out because I'm like, I don't want to weigh it out.
Okay.
Some stuff is like pre-prepared meals or I'll go out and get something, and I'm like, I don't know exactly what this is. So I think my protein's been going down. So the next couple days, I need to really focus on protein. Been gaining a little bit of weight the past 2 days since I started the sleep thing. So, normally I would have checked my weight after I take a shit, but I haven't because I'm waking up earlier and I don't have to shit yet. So that might play a factor in it.
Wait, do you like weigh yourself in the morning first, or do you wait to take a shit and then you weigh yourself?
I wait in the morning. We take a shit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what I used to do is I'd wake up, I would go in the bathroom, I would take a shit, and then I got like the scale that like gives me an estimate of my body fat percentage. So I weigh myself and it tracks in the app. And I was around like 180. I was getting a little low. So actually one day I was 173. And I'm like, holy shit. Because I was fluctuating around like 178, 182.
Yeah.
And then one day I was just 173. I'm like, what the fuck?
What happened?
Then it went back up. Now I'm 185, which has been on the upswing.
Which is more like you want to gain weight, right?
I don't know. I've been trying to actually lower my body fat.
Okay.
If I stay the same weight, I don't care, but I just want the body fat to go down.
Yeah.
But if I gain weight, the body fat always seems to go up. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think if I've been doing anything else with. Oh well, this isn't really another thing, but like with the ice bath. So when you get an ice bath, it lowers your internal body temperature, so your body has to heat itself up. And when it heats itself up naturally, like by itself, it increases testosterone. So what I was doing for a little bit was I'd go in the ice bath and then I'd go in the sauna, which cancels that out because the sauna is just external heat heating you up. So your body doesn't do the work, so it doesn't get testosterone. So then I started doing the bike in the morning to heat myself up to get that testosterone on top of heating my body up before I work out.
Okay. And then do you still do the sauna after? And like,
yeah, I'll finish with the sauna because my body is pretty warm after the workout anyway.
Yeah, got you. Okay. And then the bike is like your cardio you were talking about before. Okay, yeah.
There's one thing I want to do, which I just heard about like literally last night. It's called a Norwegian 4x4. So apparently it's like the best way to increase your VO2 max. Do you know what that is?
The amount of oxygen you could take at a given moment, volume of oxygen.
Yeah, I'm not fully sure what it is.
Oh,
I think it's the amount of oxygen you could take in and then
or process. Yeah.
But whatever the exact thing is, it's one of the best indicators for overall health. So like people who have basically, if you have a higher VO2, your
generally going to be healthier and live longer. And this one lady was on Chris Williams' son, this podcast, and she was talking about there was this study where they took 50-year-old men and they put them through this workout and increased their VO2 max, and it made their hearts basically 20 years younger. So they were 50 years old and the hearts of 30-year-olds.
What workout was it? Was it just like a really strenuous activity, or like?
Yeah, so
it's just like
it's called a 4x4 because you do 4 minutes of your highest intensity cardio output, just doing something that's really intensive. So it'd be sprinting on a treadmill for 4 minutes as hard as you could.
Yeah.
And then you take 3 minutes rest, let your heart rate get back down, and you do it again. And basically you do that 4 minutes of all out intensity 4 times with 3 minutes break. And it's apparently one of the best like things to do. But you should only do it once a week.
Oh, why only once a week? Is it just like
I think
so intense?
It's either too strenuous or like with the sauna, 2-hour sauna thing, detrimental returns.
Okay, yeah.
But if you did it once a week, your cardio will probably get fucking insane.
Yeah, so
and they said to start, don't like you might want an easier way into it. Don't start by doing 4 minutes. That's 16 minutes of going all out, and in total it would have been what 28 minutes. It's almost half an hour of cardio. Sorry.
So it's like HIIT training, right? It's just like but it's like only once a week, but it's also like very hardcore training in a small instance of time. But also, how much should they increase their age by, or like you said,
it apparently decreased their I don't know if it was their heart or cardiovascular system by 20 years.
Okay, okay. But that's from the basis of like what this was just like Chris Williams. You said that was what the show was.
It's his podcast.
His podcast.
Some doctor. Sorry.
Did he do any research behind it for like? Did these people that they were testing do any prior exercising before that?
They were untrained.
They were untrained. Okay, that also happens.
Or no, detrained.
So they trained, but then not anymore. Then they started again.
I'm not sure exactly what the scientific definition of detrained is. I imagine at one point they were active, and then they weren't active at this point. I don't know for how long.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Enough where their heart was at a 50-year-old's heart.
Right.
Average 50-year-old.
Right. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Because I did do some research. I saw this, there was like this thing where there's like medication and like other supplements. There's like, you got to spend like $1,000 on supplements and a bunch of other stuff, but you could actually decrease your age by 3 years. If you take all of these supplements, it's like really expensive and it tastes terrible. But you can decrease your age or you could slow it down to a certain degree. This billionaire did it.
Brian Johnson?
I don't know his name, but I've heard of it.
Does he look like he looks young, but all kind of in a weird way?
Oh, I can't say. But I just heard of his research because he publicized everything he did. And so this one other guy like tried copying it, and he said like somebody tried looking at his age and said he was 3 years younger, just from doing what he said for like 3 months. So then I was like thinking of that when you said that.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I'm sure combining that with it.
Yeah.
If it's the same guy I'm thinking of, I think he has a YouTube channel. I don't know, did he say it?
Probably, yeah.
So I heard he had a YouTube channel, and like one of his videos is him. I didn't watch the video, so I don't know exactly what happened, but it's his son donating blood to him. And it's like, I think the video's like, I harvested my son's blood.
Good title.
I mean,
clickbait.
Yeah, maybe a clickbait title.
Gets people to watch.
I think it was because, well, one, it's his son, so his blood's going to be, I guess, your son's always going to be able to give you blood, right? Your family can always give you blood.
I mean, presumably, yeah. I mean, you have both the blood types of like
could be
parent. I feel like, yeah.
Whatever. His blood's, I'm assuming, he's able to take it, and apparently, younger blood does make you younger in some way. Like it's healthier to have health.
Okay, so he did that. Like that also was in a factor to it, or like
I think so. He does like a lot of shit. Like I think he's
that's crazy to think.
Also, I heard donating blood is actually beneficial for you.
Really?
Like obviously, you help some lives, but I think getting rid of blood, forcing your body to make new blood,
that makes sense. Actually,
I guess it might be in a sense younger blood because it's new blood in your system. It's not
free cycle. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually trying to look into like, how can I sell my blood? Can I sell some platelet, like blood plasma, make some money? I'll make myself healthier.
You just don't want to donate your blood. You're just trying to sell
There
it.
was one nearby. I was gonna go, and then I was like, oh, I should get my blood donor card. And then
Do you know your blood type?
I'm not sure.
Uh,
I knew I had because I knew I had it on the card. I'm like, I'll just bring this. I could just swipe it or scan it or whatever.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and I was like, and I got home and I'm like, I don't want to go back.
Damn, I should do that again. I've been getting messages nonstop from like the blood trial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because I did it a while ago, but it's just like I should do it again. I'm all positive,
Okay.
and I know like a lot of people need that. So that's
the universal donor, right?
I don't know if it's the universal donor, but it's like one of the universal like good for a lot of people basically. But like I don't know if it is the universal donor. I know O negative is the universal like anybody can take that, but they don't have anybody to give it to. Like you need an O negative to give it to an O negative, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I think an O positive basically can give it to just a lot of people in general. I want to say it's like a lot of the majority of the population is like that can benefit. Yeah, basically. But yeah, no. So what was I gonna say? So taking it back to like just the sauna and like everything with that, like yeah. So you're basically you're doing that and the ice bath, but it's like you're just spacing it out now instead of like taking it. You started out with the sauna first, and then now you're doing like the sauna after the workout. How have you felt with like a difference with that? The change of temperature with how you're working out, with also just like now doing like you didn't normally do like a bike workout before you actually
I
do that,
just wouldn't do cardio. I would go in the sauna first.
yeah.
Well, one, it would warm me
And
up,
then-
and then two, I noticed that if I did the sauna before I did a workout, my lifts would be better.
And then how different is that? And then also your body temperature increases with the cardio workout. So how is that not any different from doing like the regular sauna? Like if your body temperature is increasing enough, does that mean that like, if your body temperature is increasing, you should just like skip the sauna always and like always just do a cardio workout because your body temperature is increasing. So it's like, why even do the sauna?
So I did the sauna at the end because they say, well, one sauna is good for recovery, gets your blood flow going. I think another selling point is like, oh, it gets the toxins out. I don't know about the whole toxin argument. I think that's been taken in a way that's like it's more of a marketing term. Like a lot of stuff, like you're like a cleanse, like a juice cleanse or something.
Yeah.
Get rid of all the toxins in your body. Like, what toxins are they talking about? Like, it's more of a marketing term, like superfood.
Right.
Like, yeah, there are foods that are healthy, but like, superfood is just made by like marketing companies to sell food.
Yeah. They just put whatever they want on the label. Yeah.
Also, I heard, I don't know how much benefits I'm getting because the sauna's not at the temperature that I've heard had all the benefits.
Right. Yeah.
Also,
But neither is working out to the point where your cardio is like going to like do that exactly. I mean, unless you're really like pushing it.
well, yeah, there's the cardio benefits, but there's also like when you go into extreme heat for like, I heard a while ago, like going into a sauna at 170, whatever the temperature actually is, for 20 minutes, your body releases heat shock proteins, which are these proteins that I guess can make you heal injuries and stuff.
Can your body heat up when you run fast enough?
It can, and well, I don't know if you get to that point where your body gets the same benefits as sauna through cardio. I think I heard something recently, like you can get some benefits of like warming your body up internally. Actually, I think your body does release heat shock proteins when you work out.
Yeah.
Because it is warming up. But I think having that extreme temperature,
that's what's mainly, that's the real difference.
It's the stressor on the body that gives your body like, oh shit, what the fuck? We need to adapt and be better.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, yeah.
Also, I heard it's good for preventing Alzheimer's. Going in sauna.
I heard, I heard that I heard a lot of things, but like also like kimchi is really good for that too. But also like running once a week too is supposed to be beneficial for your long-term health. Just if you do it like once a week, if for 10 minutes, that's supposed to like be really good for you. But also, yeah, like just I guess any physical activity at that point would be really beneficial for you too.
I think cardio might be better than
Then the sauna at that point, but it's
for
I mean-
long-term health. I think exercising is better than sauna.
yeah, but like
think sauna is
I guess what we're talking about is like after you're already exercising and you don't increase it anymore, then it's like yeah, because that's the main point of doing like a sauna. Like you're already doing it, but if you're not already exercising and doing a sauna, that's okay too. But it's like if you exercise, that'll help the majority more than just doing the sauna first. Yeah. Now what we were talking about a second ago. Sorry, I just
Before sauna?
Yeah, before the sauna, because I brought that back. I was just like,
Oh,
let's bring that back.
blood, donating blood.
Yes, okay, the donating blood, yeah.
That billionaire.
Yeah. So I am just really surprised that, like, I mean, yeah, I guess it does make sense that donating blood actually, like, helps you out in the long run because you're, like, giving your blood and then you're getting more blood in the process. But, like, that guy that, like, got his son to, like, do it, like, give him his blood, was that just the one like instance where he did that, where his son gave him his blood, or that was just like a part of the whole study? Because maybe we were talking about different people then at that point.
It might, because the guy I'm thinking of, like it's not like a study kind of guy. Like he's doing all this stuff because he's gotten to the point where it's like his life goal now is to just try to reverse his age as much as possible.
Yeah, because I saw the guy, but like it just mentioned like he was having a lot of stuff and he did a lot of experiments and it was like, but like he published everything online. I don't know if it had anything to do with like blood related, so that's why I was like,
did you see a clip of this guy?
Yeah, it was just a clip. Yeah,
was he on Andy Schultz's podcast?
That I don't know,
because Andy Schultz just released a podcast like today or yesterday.
Oh no, I didn't see any podcast today or like yesterday.
Oh, okay.
It was a while ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I saw another guy that did a video on that, and he was like reviewing the like process that he went through, and he was like, that guy was saying, "Hey, I copied this billionaire," and then he said that a doctor analyzed him and said that he was 3 years younger than what he should be. So, yeah, I would try doing that. It's just it's expensive to do what he said. He was like everything like $1,000 a month, just on supplements, and then all the food is gonna taste terrible. Like you're just gonna have to suffer. But I mean, that's still like crazy to think about that you could live to like. I mean, at this point now we have people that could probably live to like 300. I'm guessing with so far. But like it's like even longer at this point, like with so many like stuff going on, like especially like rich people are gonna live the longest, so they're gonna be like even more going further. But yeah, that's crazy. So tell me more about this mud water thing. How that like
So I mean, I don't know how beneficial it is because there's not a lot of studies on the dosage of like these mushrooms for like their benefits, but it's so like this, it's just this powder you put into hot water. I've been putting like almond milk, soy milk, sometimes regular milk in there, and it has cacao, which gives it more. It kind of tastes a little bit like
you're saying the caffeine though, right?
the caffeine. A little bit like chocolatey flavor. Turmeric, which I heard is good for a lot of shit. I think immune health. I'm not sure what else. Then there's lion's mane, which is good for nerve restoration. Actually, I could bring up the website and just tell you what they tell you.
Oh, good.
I probably should.
Just in case.
But a lot of stuff is like immune functioning. I know that.
White blood cells, just basically making sure you're healthy in all regards. I'm assuming like whenever I think of mushrooms, I associate that with brain health mostly. Mm-hmm. So is that mainly what it's for? Or it's also, you said nerves, and that could be brain, but also like brain connected nerves.
Right? Not everything is not everything is for brain health. A lot of stuff is for immune function. I heard that a lot.
So it's okay. So it's like health, a lot of like fighting off sickness and like stuff like that.
Yeah. I'm trying to get what they say on here. 35 milligrams of caffeine.
Okay, that's not a lot. So that's nothing to really worry about unless you're worried about maximizing your sleep potential with 20 minutes per day. Or 2 hours per day with 20-minute intervals.
Yeah, so there's masala kai, which I think kai is like tea, Hindi or something.
No, it's Thai. Yeah.
CHAI. The chai tea. You ever hear that?
Yeah.
Like
Chai tea.
I heard someone say like,
Yeah, that's
why are you calling it chai tea? Chai literally means tea. You're just saying tea.
Yeah, that's in the Spider-Man.
Yes.
Spider-Man No Way something. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that's where I heard it
Yeah.
from. Yeah. That's for energy. So I'm assuming there's caffeine in that. Cacao for energy, focus, and mood. Lion's mane for focus, because I think that helps with nerve growth. Or it helps with basically the insulation around a nerve. So like the myelin, I think it is, around, it just helps your nerves conduct signals better.
Okay.
I could be wrong, but chaga for immune support, reishi for immune support. One of those I know is good for, I used to buy like one of them like in a packet and like I put in my smoothies, but it said it was good for like skin and like making you look younger, because I guess whatever it is, it's physically restorative.
Yeah, okay.
Cordyceps, so that's if you want.
Whoa, you trying to bring
The
Last of Us
the
into
Last
this?
of Us infection. Natural energy, so the Last of Us, the zombies, they were fucking insane. Turmeric for actually cordyceps, I think are good for brain health too. I don't know what differently.
Yeah.
They affected the brain of those zombies.
Yeah, I guess somehow. It's good for you though.
Yeah. Turmeric for immune support, antioxidant. Cinnamon antioxidant, also cinnamon tastes good. Sea salt for electrolyte and hydration support, not because it tastes good and it's salt.
Just electrolytes. Come on, guys. For no sea salt.
They're fucking throwing that in. They're saying hydration support electrolyte. That's the same thing.
It's like, yeah, I mean, they're not gonna put like, yeah, it tastes good because
they're just throwing that in there to like say, oh, this is beneficial for you too.
Yeah,
fucking salt. Your body needs salt.
Yeah. It's like, come on, guys. Everybody knows you need salt to like actually stay hydrated.
Yeah. And they have different flavors too. That was like the cacao. They have.
You just started taking that, right?
Yeah. So I signed up because there's like $30, and it was $30 for the first thing, but then it's gonna be $40 a month. And I'm like,
yeah. It's like the first week of first month of the they always upcharge with like every subscription like that. Yeah.
I haven't canceled it yet, so like, okay, maybe I'll buy another one.
Yeah.
It's not bad. At the end, it sucks because it doesn't. I have maybe like 16-ounce mug for it, and like I fill it up, but it doesn't fully dissolve in there. So at the end, it's kind of like you ever make lemonade, the bottom doesn't dissolve, and there's still sugar at the bottom.
Yeah.
It's like that, but with that stuff. It's very earthy.
Okay, yeah, so it's like not the best tasting and stuff, and it's like, yeah, that's all the nutrients and stuff just goes to the bottom.
So at the same time, I'm like, oh, this is the worst part, and like I try to swirl it and like chug it, but then it's just like, I don't want to miss out on all those.
Yeah. So you're like
like that's a decent chunk.
Yeah. I just can't wait for like in 100 years from now when we've actually analyzed all of these things that we don't know. And it's actually scientifically proven that it will help. But also it's like, yes, what will help short term, but also help for like, do you need to constantly take it, or will your body need to get used to like not having it or something like that? And it's like all these other things. Like if you just think about like in 100 years from now, yeah, we're going to have everything figured out. And it's like, we don't need to worry about it because it's like the information will already be out there. But for now, it's just, we're basing it off of like what we can like research on our own. But yeah, I mean, maybe that's why I also like AI is a good thing, because then it'll help analyze all these other things and run path throughs and like Pathfinder like solutions to finding like, are all these stuff, once we find the whole path through the brain, once we map the human genome of the human brain, then we'll be able to analyze what every chemical does to us. Because right now it's just like,
There's all this shit out there. There's not a lot of studies on it.
yeah,
New things are coming up
does,
every day.
yeah, it does work, but even though it works, because like, will you be dependent on these things, or will you also just, does it help if you take it once a week, or is it depreciative, plateaus after a while too? Like, none of that stuff we know right now. So that's why it would just be like, in 100 years from now, we're gonna know how to immediately like benefit our bodies to the point where we can progress even further and better. Right now, at this point, we're just doing what's on the market and what's available to us. But yeah, it's crazy to think about. We're just listening to whatever people put on the market, but also like, yeah, that's the best information we have. But yeah, that is really good information too, regardless.
And all this stuff, like
how it's gonna, how high it's, yeah.
All the people are trying to sell stuff too. Like this mud water, who knows how beneficial it is? Like it cannot be that great. Like, and no one knows dosing. Yeah. So it's just an arbitrary dose in there, probably. People are just trying to sell it because mushrooms are getting big right now.
Yeah, and it's like, I have this other thing that I also like pay for, and it's like, I don't know if I should keep doing that, because it's like, I mean, it says that it's good, so it's like, do you do it like regardless of whatever brand it is? It's like somebody's telling you to do it, so it's like, do you just do it anyway, or do you just like wait for like more information to come? But at that point, you're gonna be old, and it's gonna be too late. So I don't know. It's like really. We're still living in these times where it's like, back like 50 years ago when there was like, oh, there's this thing. People are saying this is good, so let's do that. And we don't know. But at this point, mud water could sound really good. I'm just always scared of stuff like that because of that reason. That's why I'm just like also scared. Like, it sounds good. It sounds really good. My bank account is scared of that too. My bank account's like $40 a month, and then also like, will I get dependent on that, and will I have to always take it? But I mean, you've only been taking it 2 days, right? What'd you say?
No, a little longer.
A little longer.
A week now.
Okay.
Maybe a week tomorrow.
Yeah, a week from now. Okay, or yeah, tomorrow. But and then you said you haven't noticed a complete difference.
I don't know if I'm going to feel a difference.
Yeah, because it
might just be like subtle things. There's a lot of those supplements out there, like it's going to help focus and memory and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay. Like,
it's like you're not going to be able to tell. Yeah.
I'm not taking a test the first thing of like how to perfectly analyze my focus and memory.
I guess if you took a test every single day from now, I mean, what do you at that point? You're just taking tests to analyze your memory, because then that doesn't count. But then like, you would need to take like a different test every day or something. And I guess like, I don't know, you're working neural pathways, your immune system is also being built. So it's like, how can you test that? Everybody's immune systems are different to begin with. So then it's like, that's also really different too. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's just so different. It's so difficult to tell how it really,
how it's actually affecting
how it's affecting us. Yeah. But bank account first before emotional status.
Become a billionaire and then figure out.
And then, yeah. Also, like those billionaires, even though they're decreasing their age, how are their emotional statuses? Like, how are they actually feeling through all of this? It's like, you'd never know what they're like really going through. And that should be accounted for like a bunch of stuff too in general. But yeah. All right.
You call it there?
Yeah, we'll call it there.
Over.
All right. So this has been Carbo Load, guys. I've been carbo loading before. I just had a bunch of spaghetti, so this is actually Carbo Load. And this is Jacob.
Thank you.
And we're signing out. Thank you guys for listening. And the video stopped working, so this is just going to be an audio podcast. So thank you guys for watching.
Fuck you. Don't see visuals.